So, now that the New Hampshire primaries are over, let's try to find out who the big winners and the big losers after the New Hampshire primaries were. My name is Sham Sharma. Welcome to the Sham Sharma Show. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Sham Sharma Show. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. So the New Hampshire primaries just concluded, and surprise, they were not a complete mess. So Bernie Sanders won the primary with 26% of the vote, and he goes on to the next primaries in a very strong position. And it also helps me bring out this meme.
Come closer. I need.
What do you need? For your financial support.
And Budaj also performed well with 25% of the votes, and both Budaj and Bernie got the same number of delegates, which is 9. So once again, as it's becoming tradition, let's try and find out the winners and losers from the New Hampshire primary, just as we tried to find out the winners and losers from the Iowa caucus. So talking about winners, well, the biggest winner is obviously Bernie Sanders, because he won. And that makes him the frontrunner in the race for the Democratic nomination, because remember, he won the most number of votes in Iowa as well. So he's clearly in a very strong position going into the other states. One thing to remember though is that Sanders' margin of victory this year was a lot smaller than it was 4 years ago when he defeated Hillary Clinton by a huge margin. But with the poor performance of Elizabeth Warren, once again, he has emerged as the clear choice of progressives in this election cycle. As Elizabeth Warren's campaign grows weaker and weaker, Bernie Sanders' campaign gets stronger and stronger. On top of that, his most significant sort of centrist rival, Joe Biden, also performed really poorly both in Iowa and in New Hampshire as well. And Pete Buttigieg, who is his current closest rival, is also having a lot of trouble getting non-white support, especially now as the Democratic primaries are moving into more diverse states. So Bernie Sanders currently has a very clear advantage. The second winner was Buttigieg, who also had a very good showing and left New Hampshire with the same number of delegates as Bernie Sanders, which is 9. And Sanders and Buttigieg have clearly pulled away from the rest of the field in terms of the race for the nomination. But Buttigieg does have some issues that he's going to face. One of the big issues is that non-white support for Buttigieg is still lacking, especially now that he's going to be going to states like Nevada and South Carolina particularly, which is a very diverse state. Even after that, when it's on to Super Tuesday, when Mike Bloomberg is waiting in the wings to take away centrist votes from Buttigieg. So it's a very, very tough road ahead for Buttigieg. The surprise winner of the night, though, was Amy Klobuchar, who came in third ahead of both Biden and Warren. In fact, she was closer to the top 2 than she was to 4th and 5th. She gave a very strong message in the Democratic debates when she talked about unity and moving away from the extremes, which is a shot at both Trump and Bernie Sanders. And she also talked about empathy, which seems to have really resonated with the voters of New Hampshire. Another winner is, of course, Trump, because the best scenario for Trump is a long, drawn-out fight between different Democratic candidates all the way up to the Democratic convention. And with Klobuchar's impressive performance, that scenario got even more likely as Klobuchar was added to an already big list of candidates like Biden, like Warren, like Buttigieg, like Sanders, and Mike Bloomberg as well. In the meantime, Trump is running unopposed with the GOP, and he's collecting large sums of money for his campaign and large amounts of voter data as well. Trump's campaign also released staggering statistics about the level of support that Trump has in New Hampshire as the Democrats were organizing their own primaries. Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale said enthusiasm for Donald Trump is through the roof, with approximately 70% of the precincts reporting President Trump has surpassed the New Hampshire primary vote total of every incumbent president running for re-election over the last 4 decades. So Trump's pretty popular in the state that Democrats were doing their primary in. On top of that, he has an almost 50% approval rating, and all of this combined is very dangerous news for the Democrats. Another reason why Trump should be happy is, as pointed out by Dave Weigel, it should worry all Democrats that turnout is not moving much versus 2016. Even if they don't like Sanders, he's built an army to turn out new voters. It's keeping him steady but not really changing changing the electorate. And I also want to give a special shout out to Andrew Yang, who just suspended his campaign on Tuesday. Shout out to you, man. You ran a great campaign full of fun and free of hatred and bitterness, which is a real breath of fresh air in politics today. You're the only one who was seriously talking about the problems of automation, which are going to be very serious problems coming in the future in the entire Democratic field. And you really made a name for yourself this year, and you'll be back stronger in 2024, and I'm looking forward to your campaign. So let's now talk about the big losers of the night. One of the big losers of the night, of course, was Joe Biden. This guy used to be a clear front runner not that long ago. And when you leave New Hampshire even before the polls have closed, you know that's a bad sign. So he finished 5th in New Hampshire, and after his poor showing in Iowa as well, Joe Biden is a person who has run for president 3 times but has never won a single caucus or primary. And Biden's campaign says he still has a chance because he's very popular with black voters and he's going to be very popular in South Carolina. But really, momentum matters, and money follows momentum. And Joe Biden right now is running out of both. Another big loser is Elizabeth Warren, because remember, not that long ago, Elizabeth Warren was ahead of Bernie Sanders in the polling. Not that long ago, she was leading national polls. And Sanders and Warren were seen as the 2 front runners because of their proximity to the state. So it's a pretty long fall from there to where Warren finished, which was solidly in 4th place with 0 delegates. And a lot of people are saying that Warren peaked at the wrong time, which is at the end of last year, and people like Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg are peaking at the right time, which is right now. And it looks like progressives clearly chose Bernie over Warren, which it's insane to me. I just cannot believe it that people did not fall for the whole Bernie is sexist routine. I'm shocked.
I am shooketh.
And look, man, don't make fun of her too much, all right? Don't go after her too much. Native American people have been through enough. So let me ask you, what do you think? Who do you think were the biggest winners and losers of the New Hampshire primary? Let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Again, guys, if you liked today's episode, make sure to leave a like, leave a thumbs up. It helps me out. It helps this channel out a great deal. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to share it as well. Also, if you haven't supported the Sham Sharma Show on Patreon already, and if you'd like to do so, click on the Patreon link in the description down below. Become a patron of the show. You get the brand new mugs that are going to be shipping out in March. So if you haven't entered your address already, go to Patreon and enter your address now. Also, you get access to the Sham Sharma Show WhatsApp and Discord servers as well. And also, if you like the Sham Sharma Show, if you haven't subscribed to the Sham Sharma Show already, and if you'd like to support the Sham Sharma Show, well, go ahead. What are you waiting for? Click here and subscribe. Subscribe before Joe Biden or Elizabeth Warren drops out of the race. Go on and click the video here and the video here to see more content that I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. Make sure to press the bell icon. I will see you next time. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys soon.